Chapter 2. The Walk. A tiny figure creeps from debris and swirling clouds of devastation. She has matted white hair and phosphorus stalk eyebrows. Her eyes are sunken and brown. The child scampers through scorched concrete and dismembered segments of what was once the shell that harbored blood and soul alike. Cautious thing, head jolts like a frightened cat, and she moves off through a decaying landscape like something feral. A swell of rot and feces peels the wallpaper. Death is a moist, biological purge. I stand by the window half engulfed in night and day with naked curvatures drawn by pale strokes. Golden waves vomit on one another in the distance, curling like light around the event horizon of a black hole. Walk my earth. I shall hide. And with that, I step out from the room that fills with death, walking down the messed road that leads further into conflict. Buildings resemble scrunched bodies caught in the winds of Dante's Inferno, and clouds drip and splutter as weeds find their way through concrete coffins. My feet sink deep, and I feel my soles melt into every idiosyncrasy that which lies beneath them has to offer, a joyous novelty for the parasite, and a reinvigoration for what is left of me. I walk for hours. The duality of my mind watches the sinew dance nestled within the contractions of my legs, noting in the reflections of intact glass. My knees quiver and my stomach tightens in a maze of lines and creases, an instrument of all discharged from a callous monism. The leech inside of me begins a whisper, deep within my cerebral cortex, writhing amongst gray matter and neurons, clinging as if it were the homunculus. The hive, through ruminations of its own solitude, begat the ontology all humans know. We evolved within its mind. It segregated us, feeding our souls to the great illusionary pigeon of matter. An awful trick was within our dimension, bound to the linearity of time, doomed to continuity. Only an insidious punisher parallel to the void of evil around the sunlight of good could bestow self-awareness on an entity that not only deteriorates, but is overcome with the sensations of such. It wishes to understand all it is capable of, trapping its tulpas on a pendulum that sways from the beginning to the end. The Heisenberg effect alters the behavior of that which is observed, yet humanity has been in the panopticon of existence since our inception, and deep down, we knew. Therefore, our behavior was never natural. We recognized our mere unfurling was like a puppet raising its arm. The lights are too dark to see the strings, so we must be responsible. The conclusion one may come to when interrogating why such a mass of experiences in a simulated playground are necessary is that it is for knowledge, for maturity, to evolve through its own thought experiments. This is no experiment. And humanity has not served such a misguided pipe dream as fulfilling the important role of a subject. Do not be late. I would not dream of such, for to delay the existential consummation of the fed and the feeder is too wonderful of a paradox to deny. The child is ahead. Her ghost-like transparency contrasts heavily against the bleak gray of destruction. A scared man holding a rifle springs from the rubble. He is a mixture of blood and dust. I look to him with forgiving graces. He knows not what he does. The parasite echoes. I ask his name. A pleasantry foreboding. I cannot understand his reply. Words seem to exchange meaning, mixing in a spiral of malaise. The man edges closer, the barrel shaking just enough to notice. Maybe I cannot process his identity because I know it is false. This is not an individual, just a product of the hive wrapped in a mesh of hardened bone infrastructure, pumping blood that swirls through facets of biological purpose. The king schizophrenic that lied, telling us all that the delusion was not contagious, lying to the hallucinations for their own sake. Maybe these humans are more than a hallucination. Little is left of my humanity, and with each word I utter it becomes less. Diminishing returns of the mortal soul. The man screams for me to turn back. He tells me he is killed, yanking at the bloodstains on his shirt. A murmuration plagues the sky in a great swath. The hazy, muted sun is briefly scattered, and before the sky is clear again, the man before me is lying on the ground. His nose is crooked and pulsing with crimson. Swelling eyes blink rapidly over a furrowed brow. I have pushed the butt of the gun with vile force, but he has shot me in return.